Hey guys, what's up? Chris Roeder here with another one of my Recelerator students, Ricky. Ricky's been with us for 6 months. He just signed on for another 6 months, so super glad to have him. So guys, in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about Ricky's business. He was already a reseller, a flipper, before he came into the program. He actually put off joining the program for like half a year. We were just messaging back and forth every couple of months, and then he joined. And Ricky, dude, over the last 6 months, man, how's the program been? What's the highlights? What do you like the most? Let's start there.
As far as the program, well, first off, much love and respect to Chris, man. I've definitely been following your YouTube channel for a while. Just soaking up the game, soaking up the information, and really just being a student, and being a sponge, and I feel like sales and marketing is a very essential skill set to learn in any business. And I knew that from the jump. And when I knew that your specialty was marketing, I knew that I had to lock in and really soak in the information. I had studied all of the different resellers. I had studied all the different, I'd taken many programs before this. I can definitely say that this was the most thorough. It really hit every point that you really didn't miss out on anything. I feel like everything that you delivered in the program is what I was missing over many different programs. I would get bits and pieces, and don't get me wrong, it was valuable information. It was much appreciated, but I feel like this program overall is very comprehensive. It's not complicated, but it's very comprehensive in the sense that you really have to really see the value in the information in order to really dive deep into it and really, really cultivate the skill sets that you're actually giving out. And I would say the best thing I would say about the program is you, honestly. Like,
I appreciate that, dude.
It's about having somebody that's an expert, in that field, and who taken the years to go through the ups and downs of the process. And I feel like that's what you need in a mentor. It's a lot more than just a course. And that's what I feel like difference from many other programs that I've taken. They would say little things like, hey, you can hit me up whenever you need and stuff like that. But, I would message people and reach out and stuff like that. And then you wouldn't hear back, or, it wasn't really a mentorship. It was more of a course.
Yeah.
And every now and then you get to ask a question and maybe get an answer. Or by the time you need the answer or get the answer, you already done, you already finished with the deal, or you already done lost the deal or something like that. So I like how on point you are about answering different questions, and how accessible you are, which I know that over time, that's probably going to dwindle.
That's why we charge the big bucks, to kind of keep that a little bit,
For sure.
To be that available, it can be hard, right?
For sure.
But that's why we do what we do, and that's why I have a team too now.
Right.
So as someone who learned about me on YouTube, here's something I hear a lot. It's like, why would I join the Recelerator program when you put everything on your YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, from your perspective, what's the difference between YouTube, my free stuff, and the Recelerator program?
YouTube and the free stuff in the Recelerator program. I feel like, honestly, when it comes down to free information, it's really not tailored to you specifically as an individual. And I think that's the one thing that you can always miss with free information, on top of the fact that you got to grab bits and pieces from everywhere and piece it all together. That can be very complicated. That can be a very long process in itself.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to build a system with scattered pieces. It's kind of like you've taken all of those pieces and you've systematically put them in place. And then you have the ability to tailor it to an individual's circumstances in their position in life, because everyone's starting off in different places and everyone has different skill sets. And I feel like when you can actually get to know who you're working with, you have a better way of being able to tweak and tailor your system to them directly. And you can see where their strengths and weaknesses are, and you can really help them to really hone in on those strengths a lot better. And then you just have the luxury of being able to ask certain questions that, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of stuff that you put out on YouTube for free. And you really can, get a lot of good information off of that, because obviously I did myself. But I'm just a big fan of mentorship, you know, taking a person and really understanding their situation specifically, and being able to, like I said, really kind of hone into their strengths and their weaknesses, and being able to identify different areas that they can progress in, that they can be better in. And then not only that, you have a sense of community whenever you're in a program, and you have a direct connection with someone. You have a sense of you're not doing things alone, or
Yeah.
you know, just feel more like you're connected to something like a team. And you know that this person's an expert. You know that this person has went down the journey that you're going down. So you have a certain level of trustworthiness there. It's so many different things that you can touch on, but overall, I mean, the mentorship is just, you need a mentor for things in life. Like it's really that simple. It's that important. Like you need
Big course correction thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very mental thing, but I mean, you really just need a mentor for things. You need direct one-on-one help to things. And even if you can't always have direct access, the fact that at least like I said, everything in the program is tailored directly to any question. And then, now that it's updated and stuff like that, or getting updated, and as you continue to answer questions, I'm sure you're always seeing that people can benefit from you updating different modules and things like that. So
Yeah.
I feel as though mentorship is just important. I feel like you need a mentor for everything. I have a mentor for everything in my life. I have a mentor with health. I have a mentor when it comes to family. I have a mentor when it comes down to manhood and fatherhood. I have a mentor and I feel like, my mind state is I want to never have to work a job again. This is me being, I've been full-time now in my business for 8 months since August of last year. And
what's your best month? Just real quick, what's been your best month?
Profit wise?
Yeah.
Profited about 14, 15,000. And that was my best month.
Was your best month? What's the normal month look like?
Normal month, honestly, like my minimum is 5,000. You know what I mean? Like
my 5,000 a month.
My minimum is 5,000.
Look at that. It's awesome.
I don't like to, I don't even like to play around. Like I said, my mind state was, I really want to be an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. I want to never have to work a job again. We're talking about never having to work a job again. You have to really lock in and gather the skill sets that you really need, and you really have to master your craft. And I feel like that's what gave me that additional drive and determination to be willing to invest in myself and invest in mentorship, because I never want to work a job again. So I need to soak up as much wisdom and game and information and experience as I possibly can to best put myself in that position to where I can be a lifelong entrepreneur, and I can be one of the ones that actually thrives and not just scraping away and barely making anything. Like I want to actually be a real successful entrepreneur, 7-figure. I wouldn't even just say my focus is 7-figure, but definitely 6-figure entrepreneur. And I feel like you want to, if you want to get something you've never had, you got to be willing to do something that you've never done. You know what I mean? And in order to get more than what the average person has, you got to be willing to do more than what the average person does. So that's always been my mind state. And if most people won't invest in themselves, then I will invest in myself. And I study successful people, and they all talk about mentorship. They all talk about mentors. They all talk about the only shortcut to success is to purchase the system in the journey, or the mistakes. You really purchasing a person's mistakes, so
it's experience,
learning curve. So that's why I feel like that's the biggest separation from studying on YouTube for free versus getting a mentor. Like, you really got to study successful people, and it's very hard to do that whenever you just looking at free information. I mean, how much you really think they're going to give you everything for free? You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
I mean, and that's a big part of it, is like a lot of people, I feel like, I'm big on mentorship, huge. Like that's how I learned how to put my programs together, and, how I built my client success on the back end, things like that.
Sure.
And then I also took a lot of that knowledge and put it into the reselling business too. Creating a good customer experience. That way they come back, right? Mm-hmm. All of that came from mentorship. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to learn all that on my own, But I love it, dude. I love it. So best month was 14 grand profit. Let's point that out. Sure. Profit.
Sure.
And a normal month is about 7K. 5 to
About
7K,
five.
right?
About 5 to
Five.
7. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And I would say in sales that month when I did 15K, I probably did about 40,000 in sales.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I did about 40,000 in sales.
So about a 35%.
Right.
Yeah. I love
Mhm.
that, dude.
I mean,
That's
mind
awesome.
you, I was about to say, mind you, I wasn't minding taking smaller profit margins because I had, you know, I was making consistent money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't mind taking smaller profit margins. I think that some people kind of obsess over the profit margins, but
Yeah.
honestly, you're making money. Like you're turning your money into more money. You know what I mean? You don't have to make 50% margins on everything to really make money. I mean, some of the biggest businesses in the world operate off of like less than 5% margin.
Yeah, it's true.
And I used to obsess over that a lot, but then I seen myself making money and I'm just like, I did what 30-40% profit margins, and that month was so smooth. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a whole bunch of stress and not a whole bunch of crazy work. It's just, it was just,
Yeah.
that's my perspective on profit margins. I'm like, man, I done made the easiest money that I ever made.
I love it, man. I
I
love it. So what's the goal for the next 6 months, man? You're with us for another 6 months. You re-upped. What's the goal? What for the next 6 months?
The main goal the next 6 months, like we spoke about a little bit before, is really mindset and bookkeeping. Mindset and organization. Like, I really just want to have everything organized down to a T. I feel like whenever you're running around with it like a chicken with his head cut off, that can become stressful in the business, whether you're making money or not. If you really don't know where you, like you say it all the time, if you don't know your numbers, you really don't know where your business is.
Yeah.
And, it's one thing to know that you're making money, but it's another thing to be able to pinpoint where you're making money, where you're losing money. And I feel like bookkeeping and organization is the biggest thing that I've always needed to work on because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
Getting money on the front end, but you can lose track of the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So mindset is very important, staying in that abundance of mind state. And I would say that's another thing that brought me a lot of my successes. Your mindset, your energy, your vibration. Like, you have to have, people talk about that stuff like it's woo-woo, like it's crazy, but it's very real. I studied.
Yeah, it's real stuff.
They always said that. Like, your mind state really does create your reality, your state of being, your emotional state of being, like your habits. It comes down to your mindset, your habits, and your skill set. So I really want to cultivate my mindset. I want to create better habits within myself and within my business. And I want to develop the skill sets that I know will bring me longevity and success over time. And all of those things are laid out, in this program, as well as I do my own studying outside of that. So
Love it.
Habits and skill sets, bro.
Well, I got to get rolling. I actually got to go pick up a device here shortly. But guys, if you want to join Recelerator, Recelerator 2.0 is open. You get to be in the same group as Ricky here. And you'll get to hang out with the rest of us. Ricky, I really appreciate you coming on and, sharing your experience of Recelerator, bro. I got to go pick up 2 phones. So
I know how
I know you got, I know you got pickups too. So
absolutely.
We'll go ahead and end this thing.
Absolutely.
All right, cool, man. And if you guys want to join, application below. All right. We don't take everyone, only people that are ready to start a business. See you guys.